Mic check, mic check. All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for tonight's post-match press conference. We're just going to go ahead and jump straight into it. So let's start with an opening statement from head coach Josh Wolff.
Really proud of this organization. Again, I think I'll end up echoing what I said last week, but so much appreciation and pride to be part of this organization. And, you know, the culmination of 4 years. I mean, 4 years of work of building this thing. You know, I told Anthony last week, I was like, man, if you dreamt of it looking like this, you know, it's exceeding expectations. Tonight's atmosphere was incredible. It was incredible. But to Anthony and Eddie, again, much thanks and appreciation goes to them. They've charted this path for us and obviously you know, put us in an unbelievable space in front of the most incredible fans in the greatest stadium in the league, and we're much appreciative to that. Dallas is a tremendous team. That's a good team. We've struggled with them because they're a good team. Nico Estevez is a fantastic coach. A few of those players will go to World Cups, and deservedly so. They are a very good team, and the rivalry is alive and well. It's alive and well, and you know, this will help fuel that and ignite that. And we know Houston's out there, but that was a very high level game tonight, and one that was packed with entertainment and quality. So I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our fans again. You know, it'd be hard for me to find an atmosphere like that anywhere in the league. I've been in this league a long time, but that was an impressive atmosphere. The energy, the electricity in the air, and you know, obviously the start for us was fantastic. We put them under immense pressure, drove the game, had real good discipline and coordination in how we wanted to defend, and then in real clarity how we could hurt them, and we did exactly that. I think it was one of our most dominant first halves, and the second half they threw a lot at us, and we were able to hang in there. And you know, would have been nice to get the third. That third goal was important, whether they got it or us. But the guys grinded. It's a complete effort. As I said before the game, it was going to be needed in order to beat that team in that situation. But again, last week's experience helped us with this experience. I have no doubt about that. We got the nerves out last week, and the guys came with full force, full commitment, and a fantastic execution of the game plan tonight.
We'll go to Phil West. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, so 90 minutes from MLS Cup. You beat Dallas, finally. Playing LAFC, a team you beat twice this year. How does it feel? I mean, is this a team of destiny?
We're excited that by the performance tonight, and obviously the result. When you get to this stage, it's about winning. LAFC is and has been the best team all year. I don't think that's wavered one bit. We've played them twice. They are extremely difficult to play against, and we've done it in a couple different ways, but they'll be prepared. They've made some additions, as have we, and we'll have to let the guys enjoy tonight, and we'll let this soak in, but we'll get back to work Wednesday. They are who they are. They're a very good team.
Okay. And then just a little bit on the personnel tonight. You had Gite start, Pereira start. Just thoughts there and what you were looking for and how they met your expectations.
I think exactly what they did. I think Musa gives us a physical presence. We knew they were going to press us. The two center mids did a great job. We disrupted their press early on. We had lots of answers for what they were trying to get after us. Our speed of attacks were very good. Throw-ins, corner kicks, we created a lot of pressure. And goal kicks, again, the start of that game was if we could draw it up, that's exactly how you draw it up. And Musa gave us the goal, gave us good power. You know, Danny comes back in. You know, I thought last week was just an opportunity to play a guy that's kind of been in that space and felt it. And I think, I think he did a great job tonight, obviously coming back into the lineup. But it was a pretty consistent group to what we've utilized most of the year.
We'll go Katie, Eric, and then Roger.
Talk to us about the emotions in the locker room prior to the guys stepping out on the pitch. What was it like? Set the scene for us.
It was different than last week. There was a real energy and a real buzz inside the room. The coaches came in and talked about it. I think that's a big part of the experience last week. I think those nerves were part of it, and this time, the guys nailed it. They went out with full energy, and that's I haven't said enough about our staff, but our technical staff, our medical staff, to keep these guys in a space that's ready to go, is a big part of having continuous success. And tonight was again collective on all fronts: staff, medical team, players. Obviously the fans and everything. So we couldn't be more pleased with how it went.
Driussi was fouled earlier in the game. He came over to the sideline. You guys had an exchange of words, and shortly after he scored. So are we allowed to know what exchange happened there?
Yeah, I wish I knew. I wish I knew what I said. For Sebastian, it's just getting understanding of how he can influence the game. whether he's in between lines or switching sides. But a lot had to do with Pepe and Alex and their connections in order to get it off the line, get to the other side, and really attack their back line. And we did a really, really good job of that. And if we didn't create chances, we created throw-ins and corner kicks that also brought pressure. And the guys did a good job executing. Again, the third goal was there for us, and had we gotten that, it would have ended it. But they're a good team. They're a very good team.
Eric?
Josh, you look at the Final Four this year, it's 1-2 and then 1-3, with the 3 being the defending champion. It looks like this will be one of those years where the best team, really is a deserving winner. What gives you the confidence that out of those 4, you can end up as the one that is the best of the 4?
Well, I think our consistency throughout the year has been quite strong. We maybe wavered a bit here down the stretch when basically we'd already achieved the playoffs and kind of locked up second place. But our consistency from start to finish, the resiliency, the collective, the hard work, we talk about the roots. These guys have had many experiences and many memories this year that help prepare you for this. They've been in tough games on the road and at home. So I think you saw the calm and the collective and certainly the execution of a really good game plan tonight for those guys. And the players deserve all the credit. They nailed it. And we'll have to draw something up, talk to them a little bit, get their feedback, and get ready for LAFC.
And then, win or lose next week, this could end up being the last match you guys play this season at Q2. Just if that's the case, what kind of standard on the field and off have you guys been able to set this year?
I think it's clear. I think, I mentioned it being a culmination of 4 years of work from front office, community, fans, players, the staff. It's incredible to come play here. And, LAFC, Kansas City tonight, the buzz tonight was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. The standard that these players have set, we want to be a team that is consistently achieving the playoffs. And when you do that year in and year out, and your players now experience that, you create norms and standards that rise and elevate. And the players that are here understand that, and players that want to come here or come here also need to recognize that. And we're in our second year, but we've achieved some good things. We're not done yet. I told these guys we're not done yet. The music continues, the show goes on, and we got to get ready for next week.
We'll go Roger, Kirk, and then we'll head to the other side of the room.
Josh, the emotion at the end, every player looked like the tank was totally empty, but emotionally, I imagine it was full. What was that moment like?
It was it's emotional. The guys, you can see them going to the ground on their knees. The staff's exhausted. Everybody is. I'm sure the fans are exhausted. It's an enthusiastic, energetic spectacle, and you got to pour everything into it. You have to. Every game requires it, and if you come up one short, like I said, I needed 11 leaders out there on the field, and I needed 9 ready to come in, and they all answered the bell tonight. It was such a unique experience, and hopefully one that they'll carry with them. This job and this game is about that. It's about memories. It's about relationships and making these memories with people. And this is a great group. It's a great group, and we're going to continue to push.
Kirk?
Josh, y'all been behind a lot to start games. Do you figure you'd try a different strategy tonight?
We'd like to grab a lead every now and then, but it doesn't keep it as exciting. It was good. Again, I thought the start was very, very good. The energy from the players was good. The execution of what we talked about before the game, and to sustain that pressure, to not give them any space, any opportunities. I don't know if they got in our box 5 times in the first half. We were constantly putting them under pressure, and it required effort, it required commitment, and the guys gave all of that. And we'll put something together for them next week. But these guys know they can beat anybody in the league, and they showed that again tonight.
Was there any point in this season, I don't know, May, June, where you told Anthony or anybody that this team may really do something special?
I think it's been evident to everybody. It's you got to convince. We came into this season with a little bit of we had a lot of respect to earn, and we understand that. Our first year wasn't what we wanted, but we all felt internally that this thing had some teeth, and with the additions and certainly some adjustments by all, we knew we could grab certainly better results in year 2. But as we picked up momentum and the players' buy-in just kept building, and we added players as well, and some of the results, the validation comes in the work. I mean, if we talk about it and we're on the other side of it, it doesn't validate it. So the goals, the winning, the experiences, and the memory validates everything these guys have committed to. Some of them for 2 years and some of them for 8 months. But it's a joy to be around, and these guys have an incredibly strong spirit and incredible connection inside the group.
Thanks. We'll go Brian and then Arch.
So yeah, you alluded last week at the beginning of the press conference to, it's kind of your trademark to start down.
Yeah.
This week came out much differently. You alluded to a buzz in the locker room. What do you attribute to that difference in mentality coming out tonight? And did you expect that? Did you see that coming? Or
Yeah, I think so. That's why I was talking a bit about getting the nerves out in the first game. I mean, it really is. We talked about it as got the leadership council together. We talked about it, what this needed to feel like and what it was going to feel like second time around. So we don't enjoy going down in games. I think we just understand that's part of it. And at home, it's been difficult at times, but the start tonight was fantastic. And we want to be aggressive, but we want to be responsible in how we're doing that. When we have the ball, there was a fantastic organization and speed of play and understanding of what we wanted to do. And then when we didn't have the ball, you got to be okay suffering a little bit. Possession in this game, I wasn't worried about. I flashed up some stats to these guys this week. 4 or 5 games were 40% or lower in possession, but the opponent's not getting a whole lot. And if we had to get to that point, the guys were willing to go there. But we want to play. We certainly want to disorganize. We want to hurt the opponent. We want to score goals and win. And the guys nailed it in every sense tonight.
you've spoken on the the expectations at the beginning of this year. So does it make it easier or more difficult to compete in these big moments when it's sort of gravy at this point? I mean, you guys have accomplished so much when people sold you short. Does that make it easier to just sort of go on this run and keep proving people wrong?
It's 2022. I mean, we've just been pushing this year. As we grabbed momentum, we knew we were a good team. These players understood the potential and the quality that we had. When you start, I don't think you're beating LAFC twice and it's a fluke. You're not going on the road and winning the amount of games we won. There was substance to what we were doing. So. I think it was clear early on that we had enough quality, and we also had good execution. And now it's how can you remain healthy? How can you keep building through the year, make additions as needed? But I think we've gotten to a really, really strong place, and we got to continue to be strong. It's going to be a challenging game against LAFC, but we'll start working on that in a couple days.
Thanks. We'll go Arch and then Charlie.
Josh, you scored a lot of big goals in your career as a player. Sebastian's goal tonight was a case of just taking the game by the scruff of the neck, taking the ball and just doing it all himself. How much you as a former striker and seeing one of your players now do that, just how much do you delight in that? How much do you enjoy just seeing him score a goal like that where he basically just took over, took control, and scored a great goal?
He did it a number of times. I mean, again, when it's difficult, when games are difficult, when games are big, you need your big players to show up. And, he does not shy away from the moment. When it's tough and difficult, he's the guy that the ball typically finds. And his quality is quite clear. He's been doing this from the very beginning this year. And when you talk about consistency and you talk about quality, he's been phenomenal all year. As I said, he's been the MVP from start to finish. And, again, he demonstrates why he's so integral to this team. But the team is what makes us go, and he's a big piece of that. But he also inspires and motivates the other players. And what he did tonight on a number of occasions is fantastic. We unfortunately we see it quite often, so we're getting we don't get in all of it, which we just come to expect it from him. Sadly, he's just that good. And the goal was fantastic quality. His ability to elude players, ride through challenges. The pressing, there's so many good qualities about Sebastian. We could be here for a while, but we're going to need him to rest up and be strong and get ready for LAFC as well.
Josh, I know you're probably tired of talking about last season at this point, but if we go back 365 days from tonight, the circumstances were so different. I know you kind of touched on it a little bit already, but the then to now, it was this. Where your mind space was and the progress.
I'm sure it wasn't in the best place, but no, I think again there were positives from year one. I mean, we talk about it often, Claudio, myself, the staff. There's the growing, from an expansion team, from nothing. It's challenging, and this league and these coaches and these players are so good. We showed some of that quality last year, and that learning, as I call, is part of what put us in this place this year. And we've taken some things away, we've added some things. The group's been very responsive to most everything we've done. We still we want to play good soccer, we want to entertain, but you have to win games, and that's what validates it for players, for fans, ownership, everybody. So we're in a much different place, but we had, certainly the idea and the hope that we could get to here. Is it semifinals and you're on the verge of going to the MLS Cup? I don't know if we put our dreams that far, but we knew we could compete and make it to the playoffs. And I always say, you get to the playoffs in this league, you have an opportunity, and we got a great opportunity.
Good, sir.
It was an inspired choice to start Musa over Rudy, but he looked very prepared. He didn't look lost or anything like that. How much of a heads up was he given that he was going to start this game?
He knew for a couple days. So I think we talked about what, as a staff, we talk about how we expect the game to go. That's, when we make decisions on personnel, the first question is what gives us the best chance to win the game. And knowing the game can be 90 minutes or 120 minutes, understanding that there's the type of emotion that's going to go into the game, what the opponent is like. So we had a real clear picture of what Dallas is. It's clear how they press. It's clear how they want to play. And Musa can cause some problems by what he does. Maxi causes problems in other ways, and Danny has his own qualities that he brings in. So Musa came in and executed quite well, using his body, bringing other guys into play in and around the penalty box. He's a handful. He's difficult to deal with, but really quick release, really strong, as he showed on the finish. Just he gets it off in a good way, but it has power. And then it was just the responsibility of working with Seba, making sure that we were preventing certain areas of the field. Our midfield line was really nice and compact, and we transitioned really, really well in the first half, and that was a big part of it.
Chris, and then we'll go to the back.
Yeah, Josh, I want to ask a little bit more about those tactics because it felt like, you backed off the press. It felt like, you set in that mid block and you were still able to create the chances. I guess what led you to that being the game plan against Dallas, and why were you confident that you could still create the chances while sitting a little deeper?
Yeah, I think because we try to analyze them and see what 2 games that we played against them, watching other teams that they play against. The staff does a great job. Davey does a great job preparing some of the opposition, scouting. Nolan. And Rodrigo likewise, and the set pieces have been a big part of it. So we saw gaps in areas that we could hurt them, but it starts with being very responsible and committed to the offensive structure and then the defensive structure, and you got to stay committed to it. And at home, it's a playoff game. We played at home. We talk about the energy that we bring, and sometimes we can lose a little bit of our calm and composure when we're in our defensive structure, because we do build pressure a little bit, but that's what they want you to do. They want you to jump so they can bounce and find inside spaces. And then we knew if we stayed compact and didn't jump and minimize their ability to play through lines, they're still going to go in there. And when we win it, we can transition. And we transitioned quite well tonight. We also used the ball really well tonight. Moving them from side to side, challenging their midfield 3, and then really trying to get after their back line when we could. You got to go with speed. They recover extremely well. They get 9 behind the ball if you sustain an attack, and we knew that. But there's other ways that you can hurt them, and you try to explore them as quick as you can, and then we have some of our other ideas that also cause problems.
I was at a training, I think, on Friday, and you guys spent like 40 minutes. Was that film? Like, how much extra time do you take when you've got such a specific game plan? Like, how much time in the classroom was it, and how did you?
I wish I could tell you what we were doing in there for 40 minutes. We have a little game shows that we do for these guys to get them kind of in a fun space, and then we do the opposition scouting. So it did take a little bit longer. We were doing a few different things, but the opposition scouting this week was quite detailed. We had a lot of stuff going early in the week to help give them an understanding. They knew who Dallas was. We showed them right away a little bit of what we wanted to do when we had the ball. The utilization of Alex and Pepe in the middle. We were a little bit more aggressive with our fullbacks. We wanted to send them when we switched play to really attack the weak side fullback, which I think we did on a good number of times. The overlaps or underlaps, but they're a good team. They're tough to break down. So when you get those chances, you got to take the opportunities and punish them. And tonight I thought we did a good job. We could have got us a third, would have probably sealed the deal. But our guys battled, and we were able to preserve the lead.
Bob, and then we'll head to the back.
If you could touch on Diego, just for a guy that's been here for 2 years, the impact he had early, almost scoring immediately, gets the assist on the corner, just what he's meant to this franchise and how good he was tonight.
Yeah, he's solid. There were so many good performances tonight, but Diego, again, his calmness in and around the box, his quality in and around the box, I talk about often. The start of the game, he's right there at the back post. These are the things that we talk about, how we can take advantage of now their back line when they are quick attacks. There's a little bit more disconnection when you go quickly, but you can't say enough about Diego. He's again, we asked him to be a little bit more narrow and help prevent. They were overloading that side heavy with him and John and trying to get around the corner. So they have their hands full. But the back line and the midfield line did a good job shifting. But he's been doing that all year. Last year he was such a good player for us. He played as a center mid. He played as a winger. He's probably our most useful player as far as positions that he can play. But the biggest thing that he gives us is calm and quality. He knows how to slow the game down, how to speed it up, and then his ideas and execution. He and Seb are our best players in and around the box.
Go Jorge, Zach, and then close out with Tyler.
Hi, Josh. I want to say you guys suffocate Dallas for like 75 minutes, and it seems like the second half with the LAFC, all the environment was like, I think they got surprised now. The question will be, do you think the team can suffocate or can work the same way in Los Angeles?
Well, I think different opponents require different needs from our group. I think we've done it against LAFC in a couple ways. We played there away, and it was tough. The field was difficult, but again, we had quick attacks and we hurt them in that way. We came home and we were able to use the ball a little bit more and stretch their front three and then stretch their mid three, their middle three. So we'll have to look at the film. They're a good team. Again, they've made some additions, so we are familiar with them, but we'll have to look at what it's looked like lately. But it'll be a challenge. We'll dive into it starting on Wednesday, Thursday, but we look forward to the opportunity. It's going to be a great match. They're a very good team, and we'll have our hands full, but we got to do our job and make it tough on them as well.
And about what I asked you in the beginning of the season and the half of the season.
The bet, man. That bet should be good.
1,200, yeah, exactly. 1,200 to 1.
I hope you put it down.
180 minutes.
You should have done it. You should have done it. We're not allowed to do those kind of things, but I hope you did it. I hope you did it.
Zach, go ahead.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Second half, Dallas put you under a bunch of pressure, scored a goal.
Yep.
Obviously, last week, go down 2 goals. But you mentioned the calm of Diego. But it seems like this team as a whole has a bunch of calm and no panic. Is that teachable? Or is that something that comes with the players that you bring in? And
I mean, I'm sure we talk about it. So it's I think it's also the demeanor of the coaches. I don't think we lose our minds too much, not too much anyway, but there's the importance of staying calm. I mean, if you start to panic or you go off script, as we say, our game model can fall apart. So it's really, really important that we stick to the understanding of what we expected the game to look like, and if changes are needed, then we can do it. Scoring a goal doesn't mean that the model is broken. It just means let's recalibrate and understand the opponent is pushing. They're taking a little bit more risks, and when they are doing what they were doing, there were the opportunities to hurt them. But they were a good team. They're tough to keep off the board. They have speed, quality between lines. And Hara came in and gave them a different look. So those were some of the things we talked about at halftime. But the guys have shown that all year. I don't think there's a real panic. I always say you only panic when you absolutely have to, and until then, it still requires thinking and execution. So really, really pleased with the guys to stick with it. As you said, it's challenging. Momentum can come quickly. It can go against you real quickly. So we were able to, obviously, I think, quell that a little bit. They got the goal, and I think we felt it, but I don't think we lost our heads.
We'll take one more question from Tyler, and then we'll go grab some of the players.
Josh, congrats on the win.
Thank you,
Earlier
Tyler.
in the week, Alex Ring said that you don't want to remember sitting on your couch watching other teams play after you lost in the conference semis. What do you think the Wolff couch is feeling right now, knowing that it won't be used next Sunday?
I don't even know how to answer that. I think they'll all be excited. I think they'll be excited. They'll probably want to go to the game, which is a good thing, but we got to keep this as normal as possible. But these players also have to enjoy this moment. It's a long year. I think it's important to enjoy these moments. The memories and the relationships, I think, are a big part of what we do, and we want to keep this going. But we'll have a couple days to enjoy this, and then we'll start thinking about LAFC.
All right, thanks, everyone. You can follow me. We'll grab some of the guys.